We're going to be talking about hurricane and flood insurance. Frank, I want to bring you into this discussion because one of the things that obviously as an insurance expert, we continue to build in areas that have the propensity or the likelihood of future storms. Hard as it is to believe, along the coast there would be hurricane parties. This was party time. You know, let's have a party and wait for the hurricane to come. I can guarantee you, after Hurricane Hugo, not so much in terms of hurricane parties.
And I just remember that there were a series of them in the 50s. And as you said, you know, we have hurricane parties. And, you know, I know that we all mourn the loss of the hurricane hunters. We've lost 6 different U.S. crews in planes that are built to withstand wind shear and to be able to get to or around the eye of the hurricane, to be able to help forecasters save people's lives. I mean, one of the things that we looked at was 3 million people exiting an area. You know, this hurricane kind of set the table for people taking these warnings seriously. You're not saving the wood shutters on your house. I mean, if you want to clear away trees and limbs and batten down the hatches, take your photos, take your keepsakes, and move inland far inland, 500 miles, 750 miles. You need to exit and then hope and pray that when you come back, you still have a neighborhood.
Why do we keep building in the same place? It's going to get wiped out again.
It's true. You know, the competing business interest is that, you know, the Sandy is a coastal community. They want revenue in the city. Those licenses produce tax dollars. The visitors bring money to the area, and you know, the idea is you've got a competing interest between those who want to stay in and where they're from. They've got insurance. The National Flood Program doesn't provide, you know, terrific coverage in terms of housing coverage. You get $250 for your structure. You can insure your contents for $100,000. And you know, I am not somebody who differs from Jim's opinion on pay them and let's relocate. It'd be nice to see some open spaces. And why are we going to continue 2, 3, 4 times for all of us to pay for that damage in an area that's going to get ravaged again? As I look at flood insurance and floodplain and what have you, it doesn't take much for an insurance company to call rising water a flood. It only needs to be an inch or 2, and with rising water, homeowner policies don't cover it, period, end of story. And most of the flood claims, actually over 25% of them, come from areas where we typically haven't seen floods before. So if I can buy a policy for $250,000 that covers my structure and $100,000 for my content, and it costs me $500 a year, I think I'm in. Wind is covered under a homeowner's policy. So if wind blows a shingle off and water then gets into your roof, you're covered under your homeowner's policy for that. But if you've got a clogged storm drain, 80% of America does not have flood insurance. So if you're thinking that the river is going to overflow, or that, gee whiz, I don't live near a levee or a dam, you do live in an area with storm drainage. And for $500, I'm not selling it, but I sure am not dependent on a 100-year-old system to clear the water out of my neighborhood.